Welcome everyone to another Connecting Directors Supplier Spotlight. I'm super excited for our guest today and a new product that they've launched in service to funeral homes. So Kaitlyn, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kaitlyn Voss, born and raised in Missouri. I am a licensed Missouri funeral director and embalmer. Started my career here. Of course, I'm still working. I don't think you ever get out of funeral directing and embalming. But a few years ago, I was lucky enough to move up to St. Louis, and I got incorporated with Bass-Mollett Publishers. I started doing some consulting and product design and things like that. And we discovered that there's kind of a big gap in terms of getting keepsake products to families. And that's kind of where my role came in and where we started developing this new service that we're launching.
Awesome. So, all right, what is the new service?
So it's a new storefront, a website for funeral homes to be able to compete online with. Really, Amazon and Etsy is really who we're trying to help funeral homes compete with. That's kind of been our biggest gap, it seems like. We have all these great keepsake products that families want, but it's almost too much for a funeral home to try to inventory or make in the back of the house or own all the equipment to make those things. So again, that's kind of where I came into play, and we discovered we kind of had this gap, and this website is designed to bridge that for the funeral homes and for us and for families as well.
I love it. I mean, you only have so much slot wall space in a funeral home, right? So you can only put so many products there. And I like one of the things that I love about this after talking with you at NFDA was the fact that I get to talk to consumers on a daily basis that are going through death, that are just in kind of our circles, and I know what I do, so there's a lot of conversation that happens around that. And almost every single time we get into a conversation, it comes up of a memorialization product or something that they could have bought, and they said, oh my gosh, I didn't know that even existed. I wish I would have known. And what I love about this is you're answering that question, but allowing the funeral home to be a part of it. So with a storefront like this, what commission does the funeral home make, or how does that work if they're going to offer this to their consumers?
Absolutely. So it's been really important for us at Bass-Mollett Publishers to be a true partner with the funeral homes that we serve and work with. So we're actually offering a 50% commission to kind of stay in line with, we just kind of proving that the funeral homes are our true customers first. This is really just a way for us to help them, again, kind of compete and bridge that gap of getting those keepsakes to their families.
Love it. Love it. So, well, I mean, will the full Bass-Mollett product line also be available through the store?
Not exactly. We did want to limit that crossover because, of course, we don't ever want the funeral homes concerned that their products on their slat wall or in their selection room are going to be on our website for a different, and heaven forbid, lower price, because of course you're going to have a lot of questions to answer with your families if that's the case. So we are offering a few full-sized urn options, really just to kind of catch those direct cremation families that maybe you didn't get an urn sale with or something like that. However, they aren't anything that we offer on the Bass-Mollett line. So they wouldn't have the crossover of seeing the same urn in your selection room as they would on our website. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. And then I'm sure the big question that you get asked right up front is like, what's the cost of this for funeral homes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because it is kind of just a win-win, everybody expects some sort of catch, but really the more we use it, the better it is for everybody. So it wouldn't make any sense for us to charge anything. When funeral homes sign up with us, we provide the trifold brochures, display signs for their selection rooms, and all of those things at zero cost. Because again, it doesn't work if we're not using it, and it's not going to get used very much if we're charging for the service at all.
Awesome. Now, does a funeral home have to already be a Bass-Mollett customer to be able to utilize Everlasting Keepsakes?
They do not. All they need to do is either reach out to their local sales rep. They can call into Bass-Mollett if they'd like. And then I'll get in contact with them. We can have a Zoom conference if they'd like to kind of train their staff on it, or we can just get them signed up that day, and we can get the trifold brochures sent out with their custom funeral home ID on there, and get them ready to go.
Awesome. So that answered my next question. So I'll skip that and look at if any consumer that's gone out to buy anything right now knows about supply chain issues. Like we just waited like 8 months for a dishwasher for our new house. So how are there any supply chain issues that are going to affect Everlasting Keepsakes?
We're going to try to keep it as minimal as possible. Of course, there might be products that we have to pull from the website because we can't get them in anymore. However, we are inventorying everything that we sell on the website in stock at the funeral home. See, I'm used to still doing that at the warehouse. So anything that you see on the website is something that we have in stock already. We're not drop shipping anything. It's all in-house, really, because we understand at this point we're dealing with our customer's customer. And so everything needs to come, together and in one package and ready to go. So we looked at that really seriously, and that's why we are going to stock everything in-house specifically for this website.
Love that. That's awesome. I mean, funeral homes across the country are already used to a specific level of service with you as well. So it sounds like this stays in line with that service that they're already accustomed to.
Absolutely.
So if funeral homes are making commissions off of what's being sold, I'm guessing there's probably a dashboard or something where they can log in and see and track commissions and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't touch on this specifically earlier, but just to kind of reiterate, the way the website works is every funeral home and even location, if necessary, can have its own unique funeral home ID. And nobody can check out on the website without that unique ID. So again, every sale will always be commissioned to a funeral home. But that ID is also tracked to each funeral home will have its own custom back-end login where they can see real-time sales, real-time commissions. They can even see who purchased what. So if they'd like to use that CRM data and add that into their email lists and things like that, they'll have access to all that information as well through that back-end page.
Beautiful, beautiful. And is this linked to their current website? How does that, how do they get a consumer over to the website?
Yeah, it can be. We've done several different things because we understand that each funeral home is different in the way that they market their products and the way that they sell their products. So we have lots of different options. We have the original trifold brochure that funeral homes will be able to hand out to their families with their code on it. That trifold brochure will also have a QR code. So families are able to quickly scan it and get right into their own unique funeral home site so that they're not typing in that code and doing all those things, but it's still linked to the funeral home. Then of course we can put that QR code in lots of different places. We have it on the signage that goes into the funeral home selection room itself. And then we also have banners and different things that we can put on your website if the funeral home does feel comfortable having that located there and clicking over.
Love it. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. I'm excited for you guys to roll this out. I know that your big launch was kind of NFDA and you've been having a lot of success since NFDA getting funeral homes onboarded here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this was really just designed to be able to take a little bit more pressure off funeral homes when it comes to these sales and getting products to families without sounding too salesy, of course. But it's also hopefully going to be a relief in terms of it's a great way for people to buy gifts for the family themselves. It's also going to have some pet products on there. So if you have family members coming in looking for pet products, it's really easy to offer that without having to dig up the catalog, in the back or anything like that and have them flip through it right there at the funeral home. So
I love it. And I think it's also just, from a resource standpoint, it's impossible for funeral homes to really know everything that exists. And so being able to kind of pass a family along to the website to search and see all that's available is a great resource for funeral homes to be able to have at their disposal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in theory, of course, taking off some pressure from the back of house work, when families want to come in and place that reorder of maybe a candle or this or that, you know, that's something that we can take care of for the funeral homes, you know, relieve some pressure off the funeral directors, get them doing, you know, things that they need to be doing, meeting with families, running the services, those kinds of things. Let us take care of some of those back end projects and relieve you of some of that stress.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, so if a funeral home would like to learn more or sign up, the best process for them is to what?
We have lots of different ways. They can actually go to the everlastingkeepsakes.com. It's everlasting-keepsakes.com, and they can fill out the contact us page. We have it all set up on there as well for funeral homes. Then I'll contact them directly. If they feel more comfortable going through their local sales rep, of course, we always encourage that. And then they will get in touch with me as well. They can call directly into Bass-Mollett as well. So whatever they feel more comfortable with.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning and introducing us to Everlasting Keepsakes.
Yeah, of course. We're very excited about it.